Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today if you follow my channel you'll know that we are up to week 111 and we're doing the reruns. So it's like week 11, you know, resurrected kind of week 111. And so what it is this week is envelopes. Now these aren't the conventional kind of envelopes you know, that you get with cards. These are more what I would describe as like a little pouch really. So yeah, I've got along here a whole bunch of different papers. Now mainly they're printables and mainly they're A4 size, but as you can see I've got a few that are just kind of dyed papers, just kind of scrap sizes. I've also got a couple of scrapbook papers. I've got this one that's kind of been folded over, but I would obviously cut that down to use it. I've got some scrapbook paper there. I think that's Prima, I think, might be wrong. And I've got some sheet music, and I've also got some of my dyed you know, inked pages. So yeah, let's kind of just crack on and see what we, you know, what we can come up with. So basically, if you're going to be joining along with me, you're going to need obviously a selection of different papers, any sizes really. It will just depend on, you know, how big your overall envelope is going to turn out, you know, if you've used smaller sizes. You're going to need some glue or your sewing machine, or you could use double-sided tape, I guess. Yeah, to be honest, you could use double-sided tape. You're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need either a bone folder, or of course you can use your scissor handle to squish your pieces down. I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, if you want to decorate afterwards, you're going to just need some odds and ends to decorate with. Obviously, being my desk, I have got plenty of odds and ends laying around. But I think that's pretty much it, really. So, yeah, let's kind of get cracking and, you know, get going. So I'll start, well, in fact, I'll start with this pretty paper here. As I say, I think this is Prima, but I wouldn't swear to it. So, yeah, I apologise if it's not. It's a double-sided scrapbook paper, and it is kind of A4 size. They come in a pad, like an A4 size pad. I've had it for a little while, and I don't think I've particularly used the pad at all. Obviously, I'm doing my usual of, you know, buy things, hoard them, never actually use them. You know, that ridiculous behaviour that I tend to do. So I thought, well, this is an ideal project to actually use some of those, because actually, you know, this is just lending itself perfectly. For making these envelopes, I really like to use double-sided where possible. If you don't use double-sided, you know, you might want to coffee dye or just ink up before you're gluing it together. So all we're going to do to make the envelope pouch, they couldn't be easier. We're just going to fold it up. Now I'm going to use this side. So I've got this side on the inside, if you see what I mean. And I'm just going to fold it over like that. Now, because this is scrapbook paper, it's quite thick and, you know, quite strong. Obviously, you know, they all vary, don't they? But this one just happens to be quite thick and quite strong. If it were really thin, I would fold this over and glue this down to reinforce it. I don't think I really need to do that, to be honest. I will try, but I think this actually might make it, you know, too thick to work nicely. So we'll just kind of try it and see. It's okay, to be fair, it is okay. I thought it might have just made it really, really thick. And then all you're going to do is obviously fold down your envelope flat. Now, I like to leave a little space here so it's going to be nice and easy to get things in and out of the envelope. But again, depending on what size paper that you've used, it will depend how big or small your flap can be. And as you can see, I mean, I haven't cut this, you know, paper down at all. It is just the A4 size. So this is then a great big envelope. Now, I quite like that personally. And it's great for putting things like, you know, like if you've got original pieces of stationery and things like that. Sorry, I was hunting down my bone folder. Then obviously this is amazing because this is a proper, you know, big envelope. But of course, depending on your scraps, will depend on how big you want to make things. So for this one, I might take a bunch of mine over to the sewing machine. I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, I might take a bunch of them over to the sewing machine. And probably what I would do, to save me gluing this down, I would glue, I would stitch, sorry, along here like that. And then around here like that. So let me just take you over to the sewing machine, in fact, and we'll just demonstrate. And then what I'll do is probably any more that I want to sew, I'll do in a batch. So hold on. Okay, so I'm at my sewing machine. Now what I'm going to do is just literally stitch across, you know, where I said that I folded that little piece down. So just check that my thread is, whoops, going through properly. And I will probably just extend my straight stitch. I'm just going to use a straight stitch, but I'm going to extend it to like 3.5, because it normally, it defaults, I think it's to 2.5. So I'm just going to kind of expand it so it's a little bit longer stitch. Okay. And then, so that's my flap now. And it's, you know, stitched down. And then all I want to do is stitch around here. So I'm going to just, again, take my straight stitch and just go in here like that. And what I'll do, I'll just kind of back stitch as well, just so it's really nicely fixed, you know, fixed down. And then go straight down. And then, to be honest, it's completely up to you, this part, whether you want to go down this edge or whether you just want to leave it as a folded edge. I'm going to go across it, but to be honest, I think it's probably personal preference. You could probably have it stitched or just folded, completely and utterly up to you. Obviously, if you just had it folded, it would be less, you know, less sewing involved. I think either is fine and, you know, works absolutely fine. Obviously, if we glue in this, you know, I wouldn't stick it down with glue. I'm just stitching it because obviously on the sewing machine, it's kind of, that's the lazy option. So you can see I've got like stitching here at the bottom and around the sides and obviously across that top bit, but it's not stitched close. And that's just my envelope. Isn't that just so gorgeous? So yeah, let's go back to the desk and we'll do some glued, and then I'll probably just do the, you know, assembly line style, folding them ready, and then I'll probably stitch some maybe later, but off camera. So I will see you back at the desk. Okay, so that's that one. I absolutely love it, and it just looks gorgeous, doesn't it, in that paper. Now, as you can see on the back, you know, the reverse of it, it's upside down. Obviously, you can't really odds that. I wanted to have on this side, the paper's facing the right way up. So as when you open it, they, you know, these are facing the right way up. Obviously, as a subsequence, my you know, my back side is, you know, upside down. Obviously you could change it, you know, if you wanted to have it kind of the other way. You know, it's just worth thinking about when you're kind of folding your envelopes up. So that's that one. Let's take in some more paper. So let's just bring in this, which is just some, you know, some plain paper. And I'm just going to cut this down just because it's got a sort of fold going on. So like that. Okay. Now this is very thick. This is like 250 GSM, so it's really nice thick card. So of course, you know, I don't need to worry about folding, doubling up on the, you know, the piece here that's going to be the, you know, the tuck for the envelope. So I'm just going to literally fold it up here and then bring my flap down like that. Okay. Now again, up to, you know, up to you really whether you stitch them or whether you glue them. So I want to do a mixture today of, you know, stitched and glued, but I will probably stitch this one. I'm going to just kind of vary it, probably depending on the, you know, the paper that they are done with. So this is quite thick paper, so I'm thinking for this one, stitching actually would be better. Now personally, I'm not keen on this blue showing. That to me, you know, it doesn't really go with the green. So I'm just going to kind of ink that to try and lessen the blue like that. So it's just a bit less blue in there. Unfortunately, I have some blue here as well. But again, you know, can't really odds that because this is my food coloured paper. So I'm just going to put the ones that I'm going to stitch, I'm going to put them to one side, you know, and come back to those. So let's do a glued one. So I will pull this in, and this is my brown bees and butterflies, which I did like a launch video for yesterday. So again, what we can do, if I just cut this, sorry, in half, it's not in half, but, you know, more or less. So again, you know, don't get too kind of caught up in whether or not you've cut it directly in half. And then just fold it up like that, and then just fold your flap down over like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim it up here at the edge. So again, this is quite thick paper. You know, it's printed. I've printed it, but it is on I'm not sure whether it's 250 or 230 GSM, but you know, it's quite thick. But because it's not been food coloured, so this one obviously it's kind of gone a bit more stiff where it's been coloured. This one is just obviously printed on. So for this one, I'll just glue this down so that you can see the difference. So I would just glue down here, just on either edge. Okay, and that's all that you have to do, is stitch those two edges up like that. And then, you know, completely up to you how you kind of then embellish these and decorate them. You might want to put like a thumb hole here, obviously for the thumb hole, and I say this from experience of having had this happen. Watch out how long your flap is, because I've done a thumb hole before and my flap's been tiny, and then the thumb hole has been like lower than my flap, if you see what I mean. For this one, it looks like it would work perfectly. So, you know, it would work perfectly well. But yeah, just something to be aware of because I've had that happen to me. So for instance here, just kind of put my circle punch in and just eyeball that, hoping it's in roughly the middle. Okay. So my thumb hole is there. And luckily, you know, my flap then covers the thumb hole. So, you know, you really can make some nice different variations. If you've got either some decorative edge scissors, or if you've got like one of those nice decorative edge, you know, die, you could run it through your die cut machine just on this edge. So you have like a decorative edge to your envelope flap. You know, I mean, failing all of that, if you are a bit like me, and you know, I don't very often use my die cut machine because it's quite cumbersome and time consuming, isn't it? I think these look really just really nice when you just round the corners. You know, I think this is kind of like a look that's hard to beat, to be honest, like that. And then just edge it with some lace, maybe put like something like you know, a ribbon tab here as a kind of, it's not a closure, but you know, that type of thing. You know, you can just really mix it up and kind of do, you know, do what you like and alter them how you like, really. But they're quite versatile, aren't they? So I'm going to do a few that are glued, and actually I'm just going to pop them under my leg to actually make sure that they're stuck down. So for instance here, just going to use this paper. Now this is my Clutter Collage digital. Now I can't remember whether this is the final one or whether this was one of the ones while I was trying to get them just right. Obviously it took me quite a long time to get them how I wanted them, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what ended up in the shop, I'm afraid. But this one obviously, again, is full size A4, so I'm going to just bring it up here. I'm going to take it up quite high because this is just on copy paper. So I want to then fold this flap over here, again, just so that I'm kind of, you know, making it more durable, basically. So, you know, because otherwise you've just got literally copy paper thickness, which, you know, I mean, particularly if you're at all clumsy like I am, you know, copy paper thickness is going to be, you know, at risk of being torn if you're anything like me. So I just prefer to kind of double it over and, you know, just kind of make it a bit stronger. Obviously, if you didn't want to double it over, I mean, you could line it with book page or something like that. It's completely up to you. So for this one, again, you could ink this here so that when you fold your flap over, you've got, you know, a pretty inked edge. Or exactly as I just said, you could take some book page. So let me just delve into my book page stash that's beside my desk. Oh. And of course, you know, you can never actually get any. Hold on a second. Oh, come on, where have I put it? Oh, I had loads of, you know, decent sized book page there ready for exactly things like this. Right, I'm going to have to pull this in instead. So let me just see what this is like colour wise against that paper. Oh, it's okay. Right, okay. So this is unfortunate because I mean I actually really love this, and yeah, I feel like it's a bit wasteful to use it on this project, but never mind. I don't want to just be looking for ages for some paper, so I feel like this could be 2 sheets actually. Oh, maybe it's not. No, it's got that kind of strange feel like it could be 2 sheets. Anyway, I don't think it is. So I'm going to put it in there so I've got the texty side up. So all I'm going to do is I'll put this underneath so I know roughly where to put my glue down. You know, what length to kind of take the glue to. And then just going to go round the edge. Now, I always use an abundance of glue. So if you watch my channel, you'll know that, you know, I use, I think, way too much glue. But I'm always just a bit paranoid about things not being really stuck down. So, you know, I'd rather use way too much than not enough and have things dropping off. So, yeah, kind of too much is better than not enough, in my opinion. So again, spread that out with my glue spreader, which is just my, you know, what's that called? You know, loyalty card. Couldn't think of the name there. And then I can trim around on the edge like that. And obviously I didn't cover the whole sheet of paper, if you see what I mean. You know, I've not bothered covering what's going to be the envelope because, of course, we've just folded that over, haven't we? And, you know, that's kind of good enough to make that more robust. So this is just for the flap. So the flap is more durable and thicker. So we've got that now. Let me just kind of flatten that out. Oh, no, look what I've just done. That's the only thing with using kind of genuine vintage paper. It's sometimes really flimsy and, you know, a bit prone to obviously tearing and things. So, yeah, if you're a little bit clumsy like me, just go careful. So that's that. And then, of course, I can fold this down as my flap here. So, again, just squish that down with my foam folder. I'm trying to be a bit more careful now so as not to rip it. Okay. So really cute, isn't it? And then again, you know, can just decide, oh, I've now glued that there. Just decide whether to stitch around that or glue it. So again, I might just, yeah, I might just keep that for stitching, to be honest. So I'm just building up a sort of selection here, or a selection of ones to stitch. So this is another one of those, again, where I was trying to get this right. Again, I do apologise because I can't remember yet again whether this was one of my final ones or not in the end. But, so I'm going to fold this over, again, to just get that sort of more robust thing going on. So I might as well just glue this straight down now. I've done this slightly different order of my folds on this one, but you know, you can just go with the flow and do it as you know, as the mood takes you. So then we're just going to bring this up here like that. Okay, squish that down, and then again I can use this that I've got left, so I don't need all of that, so I'll just then take it up here. And I've been a bit more frugal with my paper, and I'll have some left for something else. Right, I wonder if I could actually use this one, or whether this is not even going to be, oh no, I can, yeah. Okay, so I've kept a slightly bigger portion. So again, what I'm going to do is just put it underneath so I see roughly where I want to kind of, you know, put my glue line to, and then just around here like that. Okie dokie, like that, and then take this And just pop that down. Again, kind of wanting it lined up. Obviously, this has got text and then it's got kind of margins. So I just want it so it's, you know, got the margins and got the text roughly central. Okay. I mean, no one really kind of is going to be paying too much attention to it once it's actually being used, but, you know. Oops, just torn the paper again, but luckily that's the bit that, that's going to be in the envelope, so don't worry too much. Right, like that. Okay, and then I can just fold my flap again down like that. Just then squish it with my foam folder. And this one, I'll just glue this down to kind of demonstrate, obviously, you know, the difference between the glued and the stitched. So like that. Okie dokie. And then I can just run my glue straight down here. I mean, I think that they're nice either way. I don't necessarily have a preference for the stitched or the glued. I mean, the stitched are lovely, but you know, I mean, of course, you don't always want to stitch things, you know. It's sometimes a little bit time consuming, or, you know, if you haven't got your sewing machine set up all the time to use, then of course it's not always kind of easy to actually do sewing, isn't it? So, you know, I think either are perfectly nice, to be honest. So there's that one. And I love these in this giant size. Absolutely just love them. So that's that one. Now, another alternative for the piece here, I'm going to try and show you now. So I'm just going to, again, sit on this one so as that glue is, you know, drying. So, yeah, let's just sit on that one. And I'll bring in some other... Okay, right. So this one here, now I'm hoping to do a launch of this at some point soon, because this was my other kit that I thought was also suitable for autumn. But as yet, I haven't had time to do that. Right, so this is my King's Park, sorry, just in case you wondered. Right, so again, this is just on copy paper, and again, this was just while I was trying to print to get things, you know, exactly as I wanted them. So, for instance, this one, if I want to, you know, wanting to make an envelope with this, in fact, let's do a smaller one. So I'm just going to cut this down like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut around, obviously, to get the white edge off. That's where, obviously, I didn't print it borderless. Okay, so we're just getting the white edges off like that. And on here. I mean, I think, to be honest, actually, you know, the more I think about it, actually, the more endless your options are with these, you know, the more things you could do. And, you know, I haven't really been very adventurous with these at all. So, you know, but you really could do quite a lot of different things. So one of the things that I'm thinking that we could do is with this. So let me pull in some book page this time. Right. Okay, so I'm going to take this down here. Like that. And what I'm thinking is you could actually have your book page as your, what's the word? You know, reinforcement. You could have it showing. So, for instance, here, I'll just tear this down. You could actually have your book page showing on this side, which would then be a different look. So let me just glue this down. And hopefully, you know, this is going to... Hopefully it's going to look better once I've inked it. Because when I just held it there, I thought, oh, that looks just rubbish. But yeah, I'm hoping it's going to look good by the end. So, oh, please bear with me. Okay, right. So that's that piece. Now, to obviously give this a cohesive look, I personally would now, you know, line the inside with some book page. So, yep, okay. I'm trying to keep that picture intact on the other page. So, let's just take this one down here. Okay, I'll just tear this. Okey-dokey. Right. And pop that in there like that. So again, you know, don't really need it kind of quite as long as that. So I'll just tear a little bit off. Like that. Okay. So, and again, I'm just going to pop this under. That just gives me the guideline of where I need to kind of run my glue to. Like here, because I'm not gluing, you know, the whole sheet of paper. So just kind of helps me know roughly where, you know, where to put the glue to. So take that and then I'm going to glue that down like that. Okay. So, oops. Like that. Okie dokie. Right. So again, take my glue spreader and spread that down like that. Okay. And then I'm going to trim all this down. Hopefully this is going to look good. Gosh, I'm a bit nervous now. A bit nervous sorry, can't speak. A bit nervous that this is going to look rubbish, but I hope it's going to look good. So I'm going to cut along here because actually I didn't glue that right to the top. So just trim that along there, which just kind of neatens it up. And then I'm just going to fold my flap down like that. Like that. And then I'm just going to trim it all around. So just going to trim it here. And trim it just here as well. Okay. Right. Oh gosh, I've made an awful job again of this now. Okay, right. So before I actually glue that down, I'm just going to ink it up. And hopefully this is going to be the magic that makes all the difference. Is the plan. So ink all around my book page so it's not looking just a stark piece of book page stuck in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue this down on either side like that. Okay. So basically, you know, if you've now lost the plot of what I was actually trying to demonstrate there, because I did go all around the houses. Basically what we've done, we've reinforced this because it was just copy paper thickness with book page. So instead of folding it in on itself to reinforce it, the reinforcement is actually the book page itself that's all visible. But it looks really nice. You know, it's quite a nice way of kind of doing a different sort of reinforcement, I think. You know, and just, yeah, something a bit more sort of interesting. So, you know, that's something else that you can obviously do. And then again, you know, you can shape your edge, you can round your corners or, you know, however you like, to be honest. But yeah, so I think they're quite versatile and got quite a lot of different, you know, things that you can do with them. So let me just pop that one under my leg now to dry. Okay, this one's now drying. So I'll just move that one out and the first one. So yeah, okay, so they're all dry. So obviously I've kind of talked us through all the process, so I can probably just now, you know, be quiet and kind of, or be quiet anyway about the process, and we can just get on and, you know, make some nice ones without me talking through what we're doing endlessly. So, yeah, let's just kind of have a relax and a catch up, generally get some mass making done. So I should probably do these now assembly line style, otherwise I'm not going to really achieve very much. So, and as I say, I might just keep a lot of these for you know, taking to the sewing machine, to be honest. So yeah, it's probably just kind of folding that I'll probably be doing. So I hope that everybody's having a good week. Obviously, you know, again, if you watch my channel, you'll know I film these generally on the Monday. So for me, my week has literally just started. It's Monday morning. I've just done the school run, come straight back and obviously got straight on with this. Yeah, it's an okay day out there. Looks like it's gonna rain at some point, but that's fine. You know, the kids are back at school. It's all fine. What did we do at the weekend? trying to think actually. Not a lot. Not a lot by the sounds of things, or by what I can remember. I don't feel like we did an awful lot worth mentioning anyway. What did we do? Oh, I think on Saturday I just I popped to my mum and dad's house, went and saw my mum and dad with my daughter. My middle son was at work, so he went to work. And my eldest son, he cut our hedge. He'd kind of started it the other day. I mean, it's not a massive hedge or anything, you know. It's just in our front. And yeah, he started it the other day, but obviously there was more to do. So yeah, he was doing that. I'm wondering whether I need to do this actually, because you know, this is nice because it's coffee dyed inside. So I'm wondering if I might just edge that actually with just some coffee dyed paper. Yeah, so he just kind of did that on Saturday. What did we do on Sunday? Oh, my middle son and I, we went and watched the Aretha Franklin film that's out. It's called Respect. We went and watched that. My daughter was with her dad for the afternoon, and yeah, so we went and watched that. My eldest son, he went out kind of, you know, doing his own thing. Yeah, that was a good movie. I mean, I didn't really know much about her life, to be honest. I mean, she had a hard life by all accounts. It, you know, looked like she kind of grew up in a, you know, a difficult environment for a child, really. But yeah, I mean, she was very talented, wasn't she? And wow, the person who plays her, it's Jennifer Hudson. Don't know if any of you have come across her. I think I'm right in saying she was the winner of, might have been American Idol or something like that. Who knows when? It must have been a long time ago, I think. But yeah, I think she was the winner of one of those shows quite a while ago. But she's very talented. She's got an amazing voice. And I happened to see like an interview with her the other day. And I think she said, so I'm going to save this for stitching. I think she said, oh, let's do a sheet music one. I think she said that Aretha Franklin actually chose her to do the part, you know, to play the part before she died, which is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what an honour, my gosh. Imagine actually being picked by Aretha Franklin to play her. So yeah, incredible honour. So yeah, she was kind of playing her, and like I say, I mean, she's just got the most amazing voice, you know, incredible voice. So yeah, that was good to watch. Right, so for this one, I'm just wondering whether we might do something a little bit different. So I'm thinking kind of in the sheet music, what we could do is line inside the sheet music with some decorative paper for a different kind of feel. So should we do that? Because it's nice to just mix things up, isn't it? And do some different things. So like that. So yeah, the lining is then, you know, the thing that's different rather than the, I think I move it up there actually. Rather than the outside, you know, it's the lining that's kind of really extra special. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, and the big exciting thing that I'm going to be doing is where we live in West Sussex, obviously in the UK, and we live very near to, there's a place called Goodwood. Now, Goodwood have lots of motor racing events and things. They have horse racing as well. And yeah, they have motor racing events, and they have these events which I think now are globally, you know, the international kind of things. People come from, you know, around the world for these events. And we're very lucky because, like I say, I mean, literally I can drive there within about 5 minutes from my house. So, you know, very, very lucky to live where we live. And having said that, I've never been to one of these events really before. So although I'm very lucky, haven't actually been. Well, I finally, this year, I have bought myself a ticket and I'm going to go. Yay! So it's on Friday. It's called The Revival. It's Goodwood Revival. They also have Goodwood Festival of Speed and they have various different other events throughout the whole year. But these are the two kind of main ones on people's calendars, and especially that would perhaps appeal to ladies as well, unless you were very interested in cars, of course. But the revival especially, because it's all vintage, so it's all, you know, based on vintage. Everybody gets dressed up for the day. You know, it's a proper event. Yeah, just really, 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 really fun thing to do. So I've been, several years ago, they used to have kind of a free type bit over the other side to their main event, where I think they had like a fun fair and things like that. And I went there one year, but I think they stopped doing that. It was, you know, it was no longer a free thing. I think you still had to buy tickets. So, you know, that was many years ago that I even went to that. But yeah, I'm going with my sister and her friend. So my sister, who she also had got divorced, you know, recently. So yeah, her and I are kind of trying to be a bit more exciting and do some other things, you know. So yeah, we're going to go to that. So very, very exciting. And I have been spending my time looking for outfits because, you know, of course you can't really go to this without being dressed up. You know, I know that sounds like a little bit of an exaggeration, but I mean, honestly, if you went not dressed up, I mean, you just feel ridiculous because every single person is dressed up in, you know, vintage costume. So, you know, of course, if, you know, if you go, you want to be, you know, looking like you've made an effort and gone in vintage costume too. So, right, I'm just having a look here. I'm not going to be decorating this up per se, but I would like to have a little bit of kind of decorative matching the inside, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to pop this down on here. But again, I'm going to stitch this. So I'm just kind of prepping it so that when I stitch it, it's completely ready, you know, ready for stitching. So yeah, I'm just going to put this on there. Yeah, so we're going to go. So I have been looking, obviously, for outfits. Now, I mean, again, thank heavens for Amazon. I'm beginning to wonder, are there any mass making sessions where I don't kind of mention Amazon and thank them for providing such an incredible service and being such an amazing, amazing resource for us all. And and like I say, I don't want to offend anyone because I know that lots of people don't like, you know, Amazon and things. So I apologise if you are one of those people. But I mean, for me personally, and I know that for lots of you ladies out there, Amazon's incredible. And, you know, it definitely, I find it very, very helpful. So, yeah, I've ordered a few dresses off of there. I mean, obviously with a view that they will all go back, but I will just keep one. Well, I'm hoping I will keep one. It all depends whether I can find one that actually does, you know, fit at all. Well, fit at all and look nice, I guess, is the key thing. Fit at all and look nice. So, yeah, that's kind of my big excitement of what I'm going to be doing. So, can't wait. And that's on Friday, this Friday. Now, I'm really hoping, I can't swear that I'm going to do this because, of course, it's going to depend really. But I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to do some filming there because I think you ladies would love to see the costumes, you know, because everybody is going to be dressed up, you know. So if I can, I mean, obviously, like I say, I'm going with my sister and her friend. My sister looked horrified when I said that I was going to try and do some filming. She was like, oh my gosh, please don't embarrass me. Because obviously, you know, she doesn't kind of do things like that. I mean, I don't generally when I'm out, but, you know. But they're going to have a vintage car boot sale, which is another reason, of course, why I, you know, really am wanting to go, because I'm hoping I'm going to find some lovely things. They are probably going to be very expensive because, of course, they're going to have a captive audience. And, yeah, I suspect that, you know, I probably won't buy anything from there this year because they're going to be pretty pricey. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm, you know, very looking forward to going and having a look at least at the car boot sale. So, yeah. If, you know, if I can at all, I will film it, of course, because I think you ladies would love to see all the beautiful costumes. I think you'd love to see, you know, the goods or goodies at the car boot sale and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it really will just depend. I'm just going to fold this one over first so that I kind of gauge the flap because I want to get the whole fox really if I can. Yeah, it will very much just depend. You know, I mean, obviously it's going to be incredibly busy there. I mean, there are going to be lots of other people there filming, I'm sure, because I'm sure lots of people, you know, probably film for similar reasons. You know, they probably have social media and channels and, you know, what have you. So I'm just going to play it by ear, but I would very much like to film if I can. If I can't, then obviously I would just tell you all about it next week in next week's mass making. But yeah, I'm quite excited to go. So, and it turns out my mum and dad, they are also going on the Sunday. So my sister and I, we're going on Friday. I'm hoping that my husband's going to get my daughter from school, because it's like an all-day thing. You know, and it goes on till quite late in the evening. I mean, actually, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she said she didn't get out till 9 o'clock at night because of all the traffic, you know, because it obviously gets very, very congested. Yeah, so I'm hoping my husband's going to pick my daughter up from school. I'm really hoping he's going to have her overnight. He's only had her overnight twice before, and that was kind of 2 consecutive nights. A few weeks back in the summer holidays, he had her, you know, 2 nights. So I'm really hoping that he would, you know, do that, because that would be wonderful. I won't have to rush back or anything. And yeah, it would be really great. But on the Sunday, my mum and dad are going. And so, of course, they invited me to go with them, with my sons, because my daughter tends to see her dad every Sunday. So, again, I said to my sons, you know, did they want to go? My middle son has got a date, would you believe? So, yeah, he's got a date on Sunday. So he was kind of like, oh, well, I've got a date, you know. So he doesn't really want to cancel that. So let's hope she doesn't. You know, because, I mean, obviously they're 15 and that's the type of thing that does happen, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to, again, save this for the sewing machine. He's got a date, so he's not wanting to come. But my eldest son, you know, I said, well, you know, why don't we go, just him and I, you know, with Nanny and Grandad. I mean, we wouldn't actually be going with my mum and dad. We would just kind of meet them there. But, you know, that's fine. So, yeah, he's kind of having to think about it, because obviously we've left it a little bit late because he's working all week now. He'd have to quickly try and get some sort of outfit together, you know, which he's now not really got time to kind of go looking for. And I think, I don't know how many options there are on Amazon for like men's, you know, men's outfits. I don't really know, to be honest, because I haven't really looked. But anyway, I'm hoping he's going to say yes, and then him and I can go with them, because they're also, I mean, obviously, you know, the main point of this is obviously, you know, motor racing. So the other thing is, and I do love my cars, but they have vintage motor racing. So, you know, they're vintage cars. I think my friend said that the racing is up to, ooh, did they say, I think cars up to about 1960 or 1970. No cars newer than 1960 or 70 can race. So, I mean, that sounds like fun in itself, doesn't it? So, you know, it's going to be a good day out. I'm really looking forward to it. But like I say, I do need to sort my outfit out. So, yeah, I must crack on with kind of doing that. Yeah, but anyway, very excited. And, yeah, just trying to be a bit more adventurous with my activities and what have you. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Right, let me just pull in these ones. Oh, these are my Butterfly Beauties papers, by the way, in case you were wondering what these were. So I might have this one, but I probably want to cut this down a bit, because I want to have that bee on there as the kind of main feature. So I'll just cut this down a bit. Trying to think what else is new. Oh, I've gone back to watching that Designated Survivor. Sure, I talked about this ages ago, but on Netflix, Designated Survivor. It's Kiefer Sutherland, and he is, now I don't know whether this was a real thing. I'd never really heard of this, but it's for like, you know, if kind of the whole of the, you know, government are like wiped out in, I don't know, like a terrorist attack, or, you know, I guess even an accident, or I don't know, fire, something like that. They have someone called a designated survivor who will then take place and run things. So that's the kind of premise of the plot. Now, I tried watching this quite a long time ago. Well, I'll say a long time ago. It might have only been about 4 months ago, actually, with my son. Now, what happens is I'm obviously constantly, you know, on my laptop and what have you, and not really paying much attention. I'm not watching things properly. And I think all us ladies, we're a bit guilty of that, aren't we? We all sit fussy cutting whilst we're watching, or, you know, doing other stuff. And to be honest, it's one of those programs you can't really only kind of have half an eye on. You've got to properly watch it. So I'm trying a lot harder this time round to actually watch it properly, because it is really good. And, you know, yeah, it just requires a bit more kind of concentration, really. So I think I'm on episode 5, I think. But yeah, really enjoying that. Although I haven't watched it now for another 3 nights. So, oh, no doubt I'll have forgotten what's actually going on it, in it by the time I get back to it. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm watching at the moment. Right, okay. I know that I did stop the video, didn't I, to go and do some stuff at the machine. So I'm not sure entirely how long I've been filming for. But I would think it's kind of 40 minutes-ish, or just over. So probably best that I stop here and we decorate one up. So obviously I've got these ones which I've yet to take to the sewing machine. But let's have a quick count how many we've done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, that's not bad. I mean, obviously I have got to sew these ones together, but, you know, that's absolutely fine. So let's take one that actually has been properly assembled and we'll decorate that one up. So let's have a look. Should we do one of these ones? Yeah, let's do one of these, shall we? So let's do this one. Okay, I just happen to have this label just sat here on my desk, so I'm going to just pull that in. This is a label from my new labels that I've put in my shop, and yeah, I will have a video coming of those as well to show you in more detail, and I've already filmed that video. I've just got to kind of edit it and you know, upload it and things, so hopefully that will come quite soon, but yeah, just probably not yet. Oh, and I must really apologise for there was no video on Saturday. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I fell asleep. It was about 10 to 9, I think it was, when I actually fell asleep. And that's it. I just slept through. And, you know, stupidly, I always schedule my video like at night. And really, I need to get out that habit and start scheduling it earlier in the day. But it's a hard habit to break because I've been doing that for ages now. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I hadn't been... You know, I hadn't got to that point or anything. And I just thought, oh, I'm, you know, just going to watch a bit of TV or whatever. Oh, the next thing I knew, it was the next day. You know, I'd been in bed, obviously, kind of watching TV. And, yeah, it was the next day. So I'm so sorry. And you know what? I literally didn't even think of it until I came to do, you know, schedule Sunday's video. And I thought, you know, I'm not sure that I actually put a video up last night. And sure enough, I hadn't. So I'm so sorry. I can't apologise enough. It just literally, you know, I don't know quite how it happened, but it just got completely missed. And yeah, I mean, I must have been really tired, you know, obviously to have just fallen asleep so early. But I mean, that very rarely happens that I would then sleep through. Normally, if I go to sleep a bit early, so like really any time before about 9:30, 20 to 10, then I'm awake for half the night. You know, I'll be awake at like 1 o'clock in the morning and things, you know, just tossing and turning for about an hour or two because I've gone to sleep too early. No, not Saturday. I was just obviously so tired. I mean, obviously I've been getting up early, you know, again to do the school run, which, you know, I mean, that's nothing kind of new. I've done that for years and yeah, nothing new. But I guess, you know, I'd got out of it for the summer holidays and had been sleeping in a little bit longer. I mean, not miles longer, but maybe an extra half an hour. So maybe my body just needed to recover from getting up doing the school run for the last couple of weeks. I don't know. But yeah, and I didn't set my alarm, obviously, because I hadn't realised I was going to fall asleep. And show what time I woke up on Sunday. 7:43 was when I looked at my watch, you know, my, what do you call it, you know, my phone, to see the time. So again, you know, for me, that's really, really, really late. You know, I would not normally sleep until 7:43. That was, yeah, very late for me. So, who knows? Who knows why that happened? But I was obviously really, really tired. So, yeah, you know, it obviously was kind of needed, but I just apologise for, you know, just being so rubbish that, yeah, it just got bypassed and just got completely overlooked. Right. Thinking maybe like that. So this one here is one of the pieces from my, actually I'm just thinking I've probably got some that haven't been coffee dyed. Let's use one of those because I like to keep the coffee dyed things to tuck into journals. So yeah, this is from my, you know, birds, bees and butterflies kit that I've been making some autumn things with. And I think the launch video went up today, if I recall. I think that's the video I set last night. So yeah, I hope that you all like it. It's been nice actually doing some autumn coloured things. Obviously I've been working with my fox and friends, and you know I've still got more to do on that. Haven't quite finished that one yet, but yeah, it's been quite nice doing some autumn colours. You know, it's weird. Autumn seems to have just suddenly come out of nowhere. But yeah, it's been quite nice doing some autumn stuff. Okay. Oh, and my other big news. So along with Good With Revival that I'm going to go to on Friday, the other big news is, oh my goodness me, I hit 35,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I'm like, literally, that is a crazy number. And I know I said this before, but you know, like, honestly, when I kind of first started my channel, I mean, when I first got like, say, 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers and things, it was absolutely incredible. I was so excited. I couldn't believe that, you know, there were that many people watching my channel. It was like, oh my goodness me, this is just amazing. You know, I can't believe it. I can't tell you what's happened since then, because the number 35,000, like, oh my gosh, I can't even bear to say it. I feel so remote from that I can't even comprehend what that number is, if you know what I mean. You know, it just feels like the most crazy number. When I say it now, it's kind of like in, almost like hysteria. I'm saying it in hysteria because that's such an amazing number. I literally can't really comprehend what that number looks like, or what, you know, what 35,000 people would look like. Yeah, I feel completely removed from it. And I know I've said this before, but I feel a bit like it's just somebody else that I'm talking about. So, you know, that's why I just laugh, because it's like, oh my gosh, is that me? That's just like madness. Is that my channel? It just feels like complete and utter madness. So yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, it's like a crazy, crazy, crazy number, to the point I'm like literally just kind of, well, just speechless. I can't kind of quite put into words how that number makes me feel. It's just like, oh my goodness, is that my channel? Like, I feel completely removed, like it is just somebody else's life that, yeah, somebody else's channel altogether that I'm talking about, because I just can't comprehend what that number actually looks like in reality. You know, like I say, I mean, when it was kind of like, you know, 100 and 500 and things like that, you can kind of, you know, you can picture that, can't you? And, you know, that's a kind of number that you can get your head round. But as soon as it kind of went past about probably, oh, I mean, I even feel embarrassed to say the numbers, to be honest. But yeah, as soon as it went past even like, say, 10,000, like, that number just sounds such a crazy, ridiculous thing to say that it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I have to like whisper that. 10,000, that's just like crazy, crazy number. Because of course I can't really picture what 10,000 people would look like, you know. It's just, oh, madness, 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 madness. So anyway, yes, like, thank you so much. I mean, of course, you know, 35,000 people doesn't mean 35,000 people are watching, you know, every video that I put up or anything like that, you know. You know, of course not. But equally, it's like, oh my goodness, 35,000 people, you know, over time have kind of actually decided to, you know, to hit subscribe. That in itself is like, wow, embarrassing and kind of like, can't believe it. So yeah, thank you so much. You have literally made my year, my, you know, my life really. So yeah, thank you so much. And of course I'm going to have a giveaway coming up. I'm kind of working on some stuff at the moment, you know, trying to plan what to do for a giveaway, and yeah, it will be soon. Yeah, it will be soon. I mean, I'm hoping that I maybe might give away the autumn journal that I'm working on with the Fox and Friends. I'm not sure. And, you know, again, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to think, how am I going to do the giveaway? You know, is it going to be, you know, oh gosh, what's the word? Like, what are you asking of people? What do you want them to do, you know, in return kind of thing? Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of giving it some thought. But I mean, obviously, you know, the main thing is if it's going to be the Fox and Friends journal, of course, I've not finished working on that, or, you know, not finished it. So that's what's delaying that. Otherwise, I would have probably, you know, done the, put a giveaway up already. So please don't think that I'm just ignoring it. I'm really not. I'm literally like, wow, cannot believe this. But yeah, I just kind of need to finish that journal if that's the one that I'm going to be giving away. So keep your eyes peeled. It will be hopefully, you know, it will be kind of given away. Yeah, that's what I'm planning. So, right, sorry, I'm now waffling on and kind of losing track of what I'm doing because that crazy number has kind of thrown me again. Right, do I want to have it like this with this closure, which I think is really nice? Or do we want the butterfly closure, which again, really nice? In which case we'd have the butterfly on this side, or we can have the stamp on this side. Tricky. Oh, let's have the butterfly as the closure, I think. So yeah, yeah, anyway, so wow, like literally cannot believe it. So yeah, I just want to thank you so much. You know, you guys, I can't tell you, you just like changed my life. I know I say this so many times, but honestly, you've changed my life. I mean, wow. I've never before had a job that I love, and yeah, now I feel like I'm literally living the dream. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of your support so much. It just is incredible. So yeah, thank you. Right, okay, let's try and get this down, and then we'll just have a quick look at what we've done. Okay, and then I have a call with my solicitor, which is, so this is, you know, for my divorce, this is my only kind of moaning that I'm going to do. Very annoying. Nothing really had been progressing at all. Yeah, it's just been dragging on and nothing had been progressing, and I kept just not hearing back from my solicitor. And, you know, I used to work for a solicitor's many years ago, and they were pretty rubbish, I have to say, at, you know, they would just tell the receptionist, oh, you know, Sam not here, you know, no, not taking the call. So I just kind of put it down to that and thought, oh, you know, this is just solicitors for you, you know, they just don't answer. I then suddenly got a message last week, no, the week before, saying my solicitor had left. He's left the company. So that explains why I hadn't heard from him. I had already spent you know, £450 having my consultation with him and things. And, you know, unfortunately now he's gone, having now ignored my follow-ons and things like that. And yeah, I'm now having to start again. So luckily his colleague has kind of taken over from him. So we'll see. But obviously I haven't spoken with her, and I think, let's fingers crossed that I'm going to, you know, like her and have a rapport with her, because, you know, I'm kind of stuck now because I've obviously, you know, invested all that money in the first place with them. So we'll kind of see. But yeah, so that's what I've got going on today at lunchtime, is I have to now go over another, you know, another kind of hour and a half consultation with her, free of charge. I just have to say free of charge, you know, because obviously it's, you know, I've already done this once with him. So yeah, got to go over it again with her. So fingers crossed. But that's of course now going to zap up my day, because I've got to obviously do my prep now for that phone call, and of course the phone call itself and anything that then results from the phone call. So that will just be my whole day now. So many apologies again, you know, that I'm sort of running behind with things so much, but it's things like that are just sapping up my time so much. So yeah, anyway, so that's all the moaning I'm doing. So I hope that you like the envelopes. Really, really, really cute. And like I say, I mean, now having done the revisit, which I'm really finding these revisits very helpful, because, you know, they're just kind of reigniting other ideas and things that maybe I hadn't kind of thought of, you know, previously. So I think now doing the revisit, I can see that actually you can be even more creative with these than we perhaps had in the first one. Like, for instance, here, I love this idea of putting kind of, you know, the reinforcement on the outside rather than the, you know, folding it over. That I think just is, you know, lovely. And again, love the idea of actually having your decorative paper on the inside, again, rather than the outside. You know, there's no reason why you couldn't, you know, couldn't do that with a whole bunch. I think they're really, really, really cute like that. So yeah, I hope that you like them and have fun if you decide to make them. Keep your eyes peeled, obviously, as I say, for my 35,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be for several days yet, because like I say, I've got to actually come up with something and finish my journal and, you know, various things. So it probably, you know, probably won't be for a week or so yet. But thank you so much in advance to everybody, you know, if you're going to enter and things. And thank you so much for getting me where I am today now, because you've made my life, honestly. Thank you so much. So have a great week, everybody. And yeah, hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.